Okay, it's recording, so just say whatever you want to say. If you look in here, that makes them look like you're looking right in their eye.
You know, I was going to be on YouTube once, but I decided that I had too much to say and not enough time to say it. So Humphrey, what was your first name?
Floyd.
Floyd is going to interview me here, and it's probably a good thing it's going to be a short and sweet one.
Well, it can be however long you want.
Yeah, that's cool. My name is Rosie Webster, and I've been homeless on and off since 1993, or maybe even before that a little bit. But it's mostly because of the economy more that my problem is. Our economy is getting it's so inflationary that it's difficult for the average person to really pay rent, you know. That's the number one reason.
I think they did that on purpose.
Oh, definitely there's a reason for it. They can control more people, control their lives better if they have a whole bunch of government programs. If we went back to letting the people govern as to what the price of gas is, sure, there was gas wars in the 60s and 70s, but guess what? We had a pretty decent economy. I'm coming up on 70 shortly, and I have a lot to say about all this because I saw that and did that, and there's a lot of people that are a lot younger than me that don't know what happened in the 60s and 70s.
Well, and the news they hear ain't true.
Yeah, the fake news. Even Trump himself said that the fake news is what you're going to get. So you're getting the skinny from me. I'll tell you the truth. The reason why I'm homeless right now, I wasn't homeless for 9 months. My husband and I have a difficult time getting along. He's a Vietnam vet, and he has post-traumatic stress and anxiety disorder, and he fractured his hip, and he has chronic arthritis in his hip, and he can hardly walk. Well, with all this going on with him, I'm trying to take care of him and help him out, you know, and get along with him, and the stupidest little things can trigger him, and he says, "Get out, goodbye." So I grab my car and off I come back to Salt Lake, and
So are you from Roosevelt?
and that's another piece that's wars in our society, the ones where we have war, like in Vietnam. That's another way to control us and destroy people and destroy their lives and cause more trouble, so that on the other hand they can rescue us and save us. The government's gonna save us.
Sure.
Yeah, bullshit.
Well, they create the problem and then they give you the solution.
There you go. Hey, I'm on the same page as this fellow. Yeah, exactly. So in order for us as the we the people to really solve the problem, the only way we're going to do it is to educate each other and to give each other the truth. And so being married to a Vietnam vet doesn't make it an easy life, you know. He split up with me a couple of different times. One time I was gone for 6 years, and I was homeless on and off during that time.
So do you, when you sleep in your car, or you don't sleep in your car all the time, or?
Well, when you're homeless, you got to figure out to do it the best way possible. And being the fact that it's a small car, I usually rest in the park under a tree because I can't rest in that.
You were talking about people that get their hotels paid for a year, and does Salt Lake do that, or?
I don't know. I haven't been around Salt Lake. I'm from Utah and West Valley, where I grew up. Granger at the time. I call it Granger more than West Valley, because
Sure.
when it turned to West Valley and their politics, things went down the tubes. But so I don't really didn't care for the politics in this area of Utah, and so I moved to Roosevelt with my husband. But it's really interesting how it all comes back around. I'm back here in Salt Lake again, you know, and this time I'm going to use my mouth and express and tell people and educate them, because they need to know what's going on, you know. I mean, I would talk to 3 people today about how I feel about the way they've locked the people into things like having to have this, and you have to have that. You break the law if you do this, and you didn't damage anybody. If there is no damage, there is no crime. That's
No
what the
victim,
common
no
law.
crime. Yep.
That's the common law. And I have a page on Facebook that talks the common law. And
Do you want
we
to
need
tell people what
educate.
it? You want to tell people what it is on Facebook? And let
Oh,
'em-
my name is Rachel Webster on Facebook. It's spelled with the AEL on the end of Rachel, and I have a page called the Court of Record, the Common Law Court, and I educate people, tell them what I think, and share information about the common law, because we are a common law land, and if we don't stay with the common law, which common law is God's law, his natural laws, you know. And in nature, if you didn't do the damage, it isn't a crime. Well, they gave me a ticket for no insurance, and I hadn't done a crime yet, and they impounded my vehicle last summer. And that's another way that they get you. They impound your vehicle. They didn't do a due process in court. They didn't do nothing with that vehicle other than say, you owe us $1,000. Well, guess what? They're the ones that did the crime. They hurt me. They damaged me. I didn't do nothing to them. And the cop says, when he impounded the vehicle, he says, well, what if you ran into a woman that was black and her 2 children? If you did that, then what would I end up getting? I'd get flack for that. And I go, guess what? It didn't happen. How can you blame me for something that has not happened?
That's right.
God's law doesn't work that way. Common law works according to the damage. I didn't damage anybody. Sure, I might have not had insurance, but as a result, they're saying that I did something wrong and I didn't.
If they're worried about whether you're going to hurt their car, they should just get their own damn insurance. Why should it? It's not legal. It's unconstitutional for the government to make you buy insurance. It is.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And if it disturbs somebody that I don't have insurance, well, I'm so broke most of the time. There's no way I can afford to get insurance, and I need to get around. I have the right to travel.
Sure.
And the people generally do not understand these things because they're sent to the public schools, which are educated by the ones that want to control us and make us comply to their mindset, so that they have all power. And the American people screwed up on that point. Even George Washington said we shouldn't have a party politics, because when you do, it'll be the demise of America. And plus, drifting away from the common law, away from God's law, the more we drift away from it, the less freedom we have. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. We better educate each other, inform each other, or we're going to find ourselves living in, well, we're already starting to show that the signs of communism. And if anybody has seen it, there's a lot of people that have passed away since World War II. But there was so many people that saw what happened in Germany. They said, where's your papers? Well, they do the same thing now. They always are. They don't even say hi to you first. The cop, first thing up, they say, where's your papers? Where's your license? They don't say, hi, how are you, or anything. They have no respect for the public.
They don't serve and protect.
They don't serve and protect. They're just doing the quota. They said they were told that they had to have 2 tickets every 20 minutes or something like that. And they're just fulfilling their quota. And this other thing, this
Actually,
seatbelt.
the city of Roosevelt got busted for that, for quotas, the cops.
Yeah, I believe it. I live there. I believe it. And the seatbelt thing, they think they own my body or something. I have a right to govern myself, and it's sixes. You know what sixes mean? Whether you get in an accident and get killed, it's 50-50 chance that you're going to die if you don't wear a seatbelt. Well, it's a 50-50 chance that you're going to live if you do wear a seatbelt too. So, with that in mind,
it's not about safety. If somebody runs a red light and hits you in your door and you're wearing a seatbelt, you're dead. If you're not, you might get a bruise. That's all.
Yeah.
So seatbelts kill.
They kill. They
Yeah.
might save one or two, but they also kill one or two.
But that means
You
it
know.
should be our choice.
That's exactly right. And they don't want to give it our choice. This last week or two, they're fleecing the sheep, or the people, the sheeple I call them, the ones that give it up to them, and they end up losing their money when they're off on trying to have a nice time on vacation. Instead, they're pulled over by a cop saying, "Oh, you don't have a seatbelt on." Well, so what?
Didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, yeah. So you got my politics, you got my religion here.
Well, let me ask you this: what's your plans for the future? How do you plan on getting through this?
I've been homeless enough times that I figured out some things that don't work and some things that do work, and how to get off the street. The first time I was homeless, I was eating at the Coalition down in Provo, which they were really decent to us, you know. But the fact that I was on the street, I didn't see how I was going to solve it other than going to a small town. So I went to Roosevelt, Utah, and bought a small piece of land and lived there 5 years, and I wasn't homeless. That was one way to do it, you know, and it worked really great. So I'm really thinking about getting another piece of property, and I had a small trailer at the time, but now this time I think a house trailer is a better plan. If you're going to follow the path of getting off the street on your own without help, that's one of the best things to do, is see if you can get a house trailer or a small trailer and put it on a piece of land, you know. It worked so great. I had such joy in that place. And so that's what my plan is.
Well, you were mentioning that you're actually able to help the homeless sometimes. How do
Oh,
you...
yeah. See, if you're going to be homeless, you might as well put yourself on a mission to help the homeless, and then it makes it fun. And I had this motto that if I see a yard sale, my truck has to stop. He wants to stop whether I want to or not. And every time I see a yard sale, I stop. And I'll give you an example. 2 days ago, or no, it was Saturday. I saw a yard sale. I pulled over to it, and we saw a stack of blankets sitting there, you know. And I asked him, well, how much is one of your blankets? And the fellow goes, oh, you can have the whole stack for $2. And then my son told him, well, we help the homeless. And so he said, well, take the whole stack then, which he was really generous, you know. So that's one way we help the homeless, is we go to yard sales, and if somebody's willing to donate, not that I intended him to donate those blankets to me, because trying to load up a bunch of blankets in a small car is really
You know, there's a guy
ridiculous.
right over there that feeds everybody in the park every day.
Yeah, and he's homeless,
Yeah.
and he helps the homeless. He
Somebody gave him that Suburban.
2 years or 3 years now, he's been feeding a meal every day and helping like between 28 and 40 people every day. I mean, he's working his tail off. He deserves the credit for
Yeah, his name
doing
is
such
Mike.
a good job. Yeah, his name is Michael. Everybody calls him Chef.
Yeah.
And when I was here last summer, I was homeless last summer before I moved to Roosevelt, and I was helping feed people in the morning, and he was helping them feed at night. So there was a good coverage here in the park, and it really made it more pleasant in the park, because before he showed up, started cooking meals here, people were asking the people as they walked around the park, the ones in the neighborhood would walk around the park, the homeless was asking them for spare change here and there and everywhere, and it was really not a very fun experience for those that live in the area. But now, all they do, the ones in the area, is give $20 over to Chef, and he makes the meal, and then they don't go spare changing the people as they walk around the park, so it's a nicer place. Liberty Park is a lot nicer place. And that's another reason why I don't mind being homeless, is we're out in the public, we're educating the people, we're doing what we can to inform them of what's really going on.
Now, if you go to the city or the county, what do they offer to help you?
Well, number one, which really ticks me off, they expect all kinds of information about me. All kinds. I have to fill out forms, I have to do this, I have to do that, and I'm tired of it. When I went to get food stamps, all they want to do is get more information, get more information. I got tired of it after a period of time. Every 3 months they wanted you to fill out another form. You have to have this, you have to have that. And I'm like, really? If you're going to help me, would you help me even if I didn't give you my name, you know? That's what he doesn't expect a name, and he feeds people in the park. And it's actually more economical doing it this way than food stamps. Did you know that? I think this is a better plan.
It's always a better plan when it's voluntary
Yeah.
than when it's mandated.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, you've heard my spiel. I'm rather a feisty female.
Well, I'm glad that you took the time to
Yeah.
tell your story, and I'll put this
Yeah.
on Facebook. And if you
And I'm headed down Cedar City way, and hopefully I'll find that piece of land. And it's warmer weather that direction too. So
well, it's warm enough here, right?
yeah, it's pretty warm right now. But
So-
Roosevelt is way too cold for me. This last winter, even though I was indoors and was living in a house trailer, I was cold. I'm not going to do that this next winter. You can be homeless living in a house.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Nice,
Well, I'm.
nice visiting with all of you. Think about some of these things, and if we educate each other, we'll be able to come to a better understanding and make things work better.
Hopefully, some of these people will go visit your website.
Right, right.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Have a
thank
good
you
one.
very much.
Uh-huh.